Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses virtually the plenary session of 7th Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, says India's Act Far East policy enhanced cooperation with the Russian Far East in various fields. Cabinet approves the policy on long-term leasing of railways land for PM Gati Shakti framework. Centrally sponsored scheme of setting up of PM Shri schools gets Cabinet's nod. India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue to be held in Tokyo tomorrow. India invites Bangladesh business community to use its port infrastructure for transshipment to other countries. Prime Minister to inaugurate the Kartavya Path and unveil the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at India Gate tomorrow. President and Vice President greet countrymen on the eve of Onam. And in Asia Cup cricket, Super 4 stage match between Pakistan and Afghanistan underway at Sharjah. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India is keen to strengthen its partnership with Russia on Arctic subjects. Addressing the plenary session of the 7th Eastern Economic Forum being held in Vladivostok through video conferencing, Mr. Modi said there is immense scope for cooperation in the field of energy. He said along with energy, India has also made significant investments in the Russian Far East in the fields of pharma and diamonds.
चेन्नई व्लादिवोस्तोक मैरीटाइम कॉरिडोर की या नॉर्दर्न सी रूट की भविष्य में कनेक्टिविटी हमारे संबंधों के विकास में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाएगी। भारत आर्कटिक विषयों पर रूस के साथ अपनी भागीदारी को मजबूत करने के लिए इच्छुक है। ऊर्जा के क्षेत्र में भी सहयोग की अपार संभावनाएं हैं। ऊर्जा के साथ साथ भारत में फार्मा और डायमंड्स के क्षेत्रों में भी रशियन फार ईस्ट के महत्वपूर्ण निवेश किए हैं।
The Prime Minister said in 2019 he had a chance to participate in this forum face-to-face, and at that time he had announced the Act Far East policy of India. He said as a result, India's cooperation with the Russian Far East has increased in various fields.
2019 में मुझे इस फोरम में रूबरू हिस्सा लेने का मौका मिला था। उस समय हमने भारत की एक्ट फार ईस्ट नीति की घोषणा की थी और परिणाम स्वरूप रशियन फार ईस्ट के साथ विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में भारत का सहयोग बढ़ा है। आज यह नीति भारत और रूस की स्पेशल एंड प्रिविलेज स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप की एक प्रमुख स्तंभ बन गई है।
Mr. Modi said in today's globalized world, incidents in one part of the world create an impact on the whole world.
भारत के प्राचीन सिद्धांत वसुधैव कुटुंबकम ने हमें विश्व को एक परिवार के रूप में देखना सिखाया है। आज के ग्लोबलाइज्ड वर्ल्ड में विश्व के किसी एक हिस्से की घटनाएं पूरे विश्व पर प्रभाव पैदा करती हैं। यूक्रेन संघर्ष और कोविड महामारी से ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन्स पर बड़ा असर पड़ा है। फूड ग्रेन, फर्टिलाइजर और फ्यूल की कमी विकासशील देशों के लिए बड़ी चिंता के विषय है। यूक्रेन संघर्ष की शुरुआत से ही हमने डिप्लोमेसी और डायलॉग का मार्ग अपनाने की आवश्यकता पर जोर दिया है। हम इस संघर्ष को समाप्त करने के लिए सभी शांतिपूर्ण प्रयासों का समर्थन करते हैं।
The Union Cabinet today approved policy on long-term leasing of railways land for implementing PM Gati Shakti framework. Briefing media in New Delhi today, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said the policy will bring more revenue to railways and generate about 1,20,000 jobs. He said 300 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminals will also be developed over the next 5 years.
The Government of India has approved Railways revised policy on leasing of railway land for cargo-related activities and public utilities. This new policy will enable integrated development of infrastructure and more cargo terminals. This will increase railway share in the freight transportation and reduce overall logistics cost in the country.
The Union Cabinet also approved launch of a new centrally sponsored scheme of setting up of Prime Minister schools for Rising India PM Shri schools.
PM श्री के नाम पे एक मॉडल स्कूल बनाने के लिए आज कैबिनेट ने मंजूरी दी है। 2022 से 2027 तक 5 साल के अंदर 27,360 करोड़ रुपया की लागत से 14,597 इतने स्कूल की गुणवत्ता बढ़ाने के लिए बाल वाटिका की कल्पना यानी सरकारी स्कूलों में प्ले स्कूल की कल्पना लाया है और हायर सेकेंडरी का एक स्कूल से 2 स्कूल एक ब्लॉक में एक केंद्रीय योजना लागू की जाएगी।
Mr. Pradhan said a portal will be designed to track the performance of students and to make school administration more transparent. He said under this scheme, 2 crore rupees per school will be allocated for the next 5 years, which will be directly given to the schools.
There will be a monitoring mechanism of quality of education, teachers' quality, and also governance. There will be a portal in Gujarat. The first Vidya Samiksha Kendra has already started functioning. In that Vidya Samiksha Kendra, all facilities are there. Now, that will be extended, that will be replicated in all India level. It is this Vidya Samiksha Kendra concept is part of national education policy. This will be extended to all the 11,30,000 government schools. To begin with, we are implementing this Vidya Samiksha Kendra, the monitoring tool for the PM3 schools in the pilot mode.
The selection of PM Shri schools will be done through challenge mode, wherein schools will compete for support to become exemplary schools. The schools will be required to self-apply on the online portal. The Cabinet has also approved the implementation of the Kochi Metro Rail Phase 2 from Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium to Info Park via Kakinad. Over 11-kilometre long metro route will have 11 stations and the project cost will be over 1,957 crore rupees. The Cabinet today approved the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between India and the UAE on cooperation in the field of education. The new MOU incorporates changes brought in by the National Education Policy 2020 in India's education ecosystem.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh along with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will participate in the second India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue in Tokyo tomorrow. The Japanese side will be represented by the Minister of Defence Yasukazu Hamada and Minister of Foreign Affairs Yoshimasa Hayashi. The 2+2 dialogue will review the bilateral cooperation across domains and chart out the way forward. India and Japan are pursuing a special strategic and global partnership. This year marks 70 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The Defence Minister Rajnath will also hold bilateral talks with his Japanese counterpart. He is also scheduled to call on the Prime Minister of Japan, Fumio Kishida, during the visit. Mr. Singh will also attend a community event organized by the Embassy of India in Tokyo and interact with the Indian diaspora in Japan. India has invited the Bangladesh business community to use its port infrastructure to transshipment to other countries. According to the joint statement issued during the visit of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to India, India offered free transit via its territory to Bangladesh for exporting its products to third countries through specified land customs stations, LCS, airports and seaports. Reiterating the importance of facilitating trade between the two countries, both the leaders stressed the urgent need for upgradation of infrastructure and facilities at the land customs stations and land ports for removal of port restrictions and other non-tariff barriers at identified LCS.
Managing Director of International Monetary Fund Kristalina Georgieva today met External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in New Delhi. Dr. Jaishankar in a tweet said they discussed global economic and political developments. The External Affairs Minister apprised her of the transformation underway in India. They also exchanged views on Sri Lanka. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said India means opportunities, and it is not just India's decade, but it is India's century. The minister said at the time of celebrating the 100th anniversary of its independence, India would be a $30 trillion economy. The Commerce Minister was interacting with faculty and students of the Stanford Graduate School of Business in San Francisco today. Mr. Goel said India spent the last few years creating foundation for rapid transformation in its economic growth, improvement of systems, engagement with technology and learning from the best in the world. The minister is in the US to attend the India-US Strategic Partnership Forum Conference and Indo-Pacific Economic Framework Ministerial Meeting.
You're listening to the Evening News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses virtually the plenary session of the 7th Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, says India's Act Far East policy enhanced cooperation with the Russian Far East in various fields. Cabinet approves the policy on long-term leasing of railways land for PM Gati Shakti framework. Centrally sponsored scheme of setting up of PM Shri schools gets Cabinet's nod. India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue to be held in Tokyo tomorrow. India invites Bangladesh business community to use its port infrastructure for transshipment to other countries. Prime Minister to inaugurate the Kartavya Path and unveil the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at India Gate tomorrow. President and Vice President greet countrymen on the eve of Onam. And in Asia Cup cricket, Super 4 stage match between Pakistan and Afghanistan underway at Sharjah. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alert.
उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का सुलभ और सस्ता माध्यम है आकाशवाणी।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न केंद्रों से कीजिए अपने उत्पादों और सेवाओं का प्रचार विज्ञापनों के माध्यम से।
लोकल और राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर कीजिए अपने बिजनेस का विस्तार, क्योंकि आकाशवाणी में विज्ञापन बुकिंग हुई बहुत ही आसान।
अब घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे आप कर सकते हैं विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
डायल कीजिए 870-001-4242।
नंबर एक बार फिर नोट करें, 870-001-4242।
Northeast Diary program broadcast every Thursday and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. Northeast Diary this week, that is 8th of September 2022, brings an exclusive interview with Ms. Peliuno Yome, a civil engineer, musician and an entrepreneur from Nagaland. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Welcome back to the evening news. The Rajpath has been renamed as Kartavya Path. Union Minister and ex-officio member of New Delhi Municipal Council NDMC Meenakshi Lekhi today informed after the meeting of NDMC that the council passed a resolution to rename Rajpath as Kartavya Path. Ms. Lekhi said as India completes 75 years of independence, it is only fitting to shed the colonial baggage and move towards India at 100 in the Amrit Kal with our own legacy.
This is the time when we are celebrating Amrit Mahotsav, and this Amrit Kal needs to inspire all of us to take forward our duties and do whatever is needed towards the country. Duty towards all for all times to come will inspire all Indians to be bound by the duties towards nation and society at large, and of course the family. And this is a big change in the thinking of governance.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Kartavya Path tomorrow at 7 p.m. It symbolizes a shift from erstwhile Rajpath being an icon of power to Kartavya Path being an example of public ownership and empowerment. He will also unveil the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at India Gate on the occasion. These steps are in line with the Prime Minister's second Panch Pran for New India in Amrit Kal, removing any trace of colonial mindset. Here is more in this report.
The jet black granite statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, measuring a total of 28 feet, will be placed under the canopy near India Gate. It is completely hand-sculpted using traditional techniques and modern tools. It is being installed in the same place where a hologram statue of Netaji was unveiled by Prime Minister on Parakram Divas this year, marking the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji. The statue is one of the tallest, realistic, monolithic, handmade sculptures in India. The unveiling of the statue of Netaji will be accompanied to the tune of Qadam Qadam Badhai Ja, the traditional INA march song. A cultural festival by 500 dancers drawn from all parts of the country will be showcased on the Kartavya Path. Zaira Mushtaba, News Desk.
The festival at Kartavya Path will commence tomorrow after the main function and will also continue on the 9th, 10th and 11th of September from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. A special 10-minute drone show on Netaji's life will also be projected at India Gate. The entry to both the cultural festival and the drone show will be free for the public.
The Inter-Ministerial Central Team, headed by Ministry of Home Affairs Joint Secretary Ashish Kumar, met Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai and his cabinet colleagues in Bengaluru today. The team was briefed about the damages suffered by the state due to rain and floods in the months of July and August and relief sought under NDRF. The Central Assessment Team will visit calamity-hit areas for 3 days till September 9th. The team was informed by Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai that the state government has prepared a memorandum on rain damage estimate meticulously and transparently and has sought fair compensation as per the central guidelines. He suggested the team members to also visit Kodagu, Dakshina Kannad and Uttara Kannad districts apart from 9 districts they are already visiting. The Chief Minister pointed out that massive landslides, sea erosion and other damages were caused by the monsoon rains in these 3 districts. He added that Bengaluru City, Mandya and Ramankara districts are reeling under natural calamity due to copious rainfall this month. In West Bengal, the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) today conducted raids and search operation at residences of West Bengal Law Minister Malia Ghatak at Kolkata and Asansol in connection with the multi-crore coal smuggling scam. This morning, separate teams of CBI, escorted by the Central Armed Forces personnel, raided Ghatak's residence in Asansol and Kolkata. Apart from that, a team of CBI conducted raid and search operations at the residence of Ghatak's chartered accountant, Prateek Devan, at Alipur in South Kolkata. Another team conducted search operations at Ghatak's Lake Gardens residence in South Kolkata, which houses the minister's son and daughter-in-law. The Enforcement Directorate ED, which is conducting a parallel investigation in the multi-crore coal scam, had summoned Ghatak several times for questioning in the coal scam. However, Ghatak, an elected Trinamool Congress legislator from Asansol North, which is considered the hotbed of coal smuggling, ducked the summons. He is supposed to appear at ED's New Delhi office again on 14th of September.
President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar have greeted countrymen, especially the people of Kerala, on the eve of Onam. In her message, President Murmu said Onam is an occasion to respect the hard work of farmers and to express gratitude towards Mother Nature. She said people of Kerala have preserved their rich cultural heritage. The President said this festival is also an opportunity to promote mutual cooperation and harmony. The President has asked people to work unitedly and contribute in making India a prosperous and glorious nation. In his message, Vice President Dhankar said the festival is celebrated to honor the memory of King Mahabali, which symbolizes the high values of honesty, compassion and sacrifice. He said it is also an occasion to celebrate Mother Nature's bounty in the form of new crops in the fields. Mr. Dhankar hoped that the spirit of Onam will bring peace, prosperity and happiness in everyone's lives. President Draupadi Murmu will virtually launch the Pradhan Mantri TB Mukt Bharat Abhiyan on the 9th of September to reinvigorate the mission of TB elimination from the country by 2025. During the event, President Murmu will also launch the Nikshay Mitra initiative, a portal to provide a platform for donors to provide various forms of support to those undergoing TB treatment.
All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, New Delhi, is working on developing a mobile app to help patients suffering from corneal disease, which can lead to blindness. Talking to AIR News, Chief of Dr. RP Center of Ophthalmic Sciences, AIIMS, Dr. J.S. Titiyal said, through this app, patients who are waiting corneal transplantation and those who have undergone corneal transplantation can seek advice from the doctors.
इसका पर्पज ये है कि सुविधाजनक एक ऐसा प्रोसेस हो जाए हॉस्पिटल और मरीजों के बीच में। जो लोग वेट कर रहे हैं उनसे डायरेक्टली बात कर सकते हैं, कोई समस्या है तो नहीं उसके बारे में हम जान सकते हैं, और जो लोग सर्जरी करा के या कॉर्नियल ग्राफ्टिंग करके वापस चले जाते हैं उनका फॉलो अप ठीक से कर सकें, क्योंकि जब हम ग्राफ्टिंग करते हैं तो उसका फेल होने के चांसेस भी बहुत ज्यादा रहते हैं, कभी कभी इन्फेक्शन भी हो जाता है। तो ये एक स्मार्टफोन बेस्ड ऐप हम बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, उसमें थोड़ा बहुत काम भी कर चुके हैं, जिसमें पेशेंट जो है अपना फोटो खुद खींच के या अपने रिलेटिव के द्वारा खींच करके हमें भेज सकता है। और हमारा नेशनल आई बैंक जो है 24 आवर्स चलता है, तो वहाँ डॉक्टर टेक्नीशियन बैठे होते हैं जो उनकी समस्या को सुनेंगे और साथ में इस समस्या का सुझाव भी बताएंगे।
All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. Parallel to the political democracy with the independence, the process of cultural democracy also occurred with the entry of All India Radio in the arena of music and literature. AIR brought all precious and mesmerizing melodies of Indian music, be it classical or folk or film music, to every nook and corner of the country. Every legend in the field of music, from M.S. Shubhalakshmi, Ustad Bismillah Khan, Pandit Ravi Shankar, Pandit Bhim Singh Joshi to Lata Mangeshkar, they have invariably performed at the studios of AIR. In today's episode, we bring you the story of two of the legends of Indian music, M.S. Shubhalakshmi and Ustad Bismillah Khan.
In today's episode, we will bring you the story of two legends of Indian music, M.S. Subbulakshmi and Ustad Bismillah Khan. Madurai Shanmukh Vadivu Subbulakshmi, popularly known as M.S. Subbulakshmi, was a renowned Carnatic vocalist, the first musician ever to be awarded the Bharat Ratna, country's highest civilian honor. Subbulakshmi was also the first Indian musician to receive the Ramon Magsaysay Award. Affectionately called M.S. Amma, she mostly sang in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Meera bhajans in Hindi. She was not just the face of Carnatic music, but also a great actor, donning the roles of Meera and Shakuntala on the silver screen. She was the first Indian musician to perform at the UN General Assembly. Shehnai maestro Ustad Bismillah Khan gave a new meaning and prestige to Shehnai, which was traditionally played only during weddings or other ceremonies. He had the rare honor of performing at Delhi's Red Fort on the eve of India's Independence Day, the 15th of August, 1947. He also mesmerized people with his rendition on the occasion of India's First Republic Day, the 26th of January, 1950. His recital had almost become an indispensable part of the Independence Day celebrations relayed by All India Radio and Doordarshan for many years. Ustad Bismillah Khan's musical sensibility and superb vision gave his music its unmistakable ecstasy, beauty and tenderness.
In tomorrow's episode, we will bring you the story of Pandit Ravi Shankar and Pandit Bhim Singh Joshi. Azad Bharat Ki Baat Akashvani ke Saath can be accessed on AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News AIR official YouTube channel, News on AIR app, Facebook and Instagram handles.
Union Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupendra Yadav has said the innovative approach of imbibing the spirit of competition among the cities is helping in reducing air pollution. Mr. Yadav was addressing a gathering on the occasion of International Day of Clean Air for Blue Skies, Swachh Pavan Neel Gagan in New Delhi. Talking about the National Clean Air Programme, the Minister emphasized on the importance of participation of people at grassroots level, including students, NGOs and researchers. He said with the participation of municipal corporations of many cities like Varanasi, Srinagar and Bengaluru, the ministry has been able to work on multifold issues of waste management, sustainable transport and urban greening. Mr. Yadav said the conception of a city should include all the environmental parameters too, and the Government of India's Smart City mission is based on such approach only. Delhi Environment Minister Gopal Rai today said the production, storage, sale and use of all types of firecrackers will be banned in the national capital till the 1st of January 2023. In a tweet, Mr. Rai said the ban also extends to online sale or delivery of firecrackers. He said an action plan will be drawn up with the Delhi Police, Delhi Pollution Control Committee and Revenue Department to ensure strict enforcement of the ban. The minister said the decision has been taken to save people's lives from pollution.
The Supreme Court will hear the interim plea to stop the Election Commission of India (ECI) to decide the real Shiv Sena claim on 27th of this month. The interim application was moved by Uddhav Thackeray Group to restrain the ECI from deciding the claim raised by Eknath Shinde Group for recognition as the official Shiv Sena party. A 5-judge constitution bench today heard a batch of petitions filed by members of both the groups. Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh has said that the healthcare sector in India is expected to reach a size of $50 billion by 2025. Addressing the 14th CII Global MedTech Summit in New Delhi, Dr. Singh said, over the past 2 years, healthcare has become more focused on innovation and technology. He said 80% of healthcare systems are aiming to increase their investment in digital healthcare tools in coming 5 years. The minister added that India aims to achieve 10 to 12% of the global market share of the medical devices sector.
Indian origin barrister Suella Braverman has been appointed as the Home Secretary in the newly elected UK cabinet by Prime Minister Liz Truss. She has succeeded her colleague of Indian origin Preeti Patel. In a tweet today, Suella Braverman said she is honoured to be appointed by Prime Minister Liz Truss to serve the United Kingdom as Home Secretary. The 42-year-old Suella Braverman from the ruling Conservative Party had served as the Attorney General in the earlier government led by Boris Johnson. Also, she was one of the contenders to replace former Prime Minister Boris Johnson. In the Asia Cup T20 cricket tournament, Super 4 match is now underway at Sharjah between Pakistan and Afghanistan. When reports last came in, Afghanistan were playing at 119 for 6 in 19 overs. Pakistan won the toss and elected to field. Yesterday, in a close contest, Sri Lanka defeated India in a crucial Super 4 clash by 6 wickets in Dubai. India's fate now hinges on today's game. A win for Pakistan will seal their place along with Sri Lanka's in the final. India will play Afghanistan in another Super 4 clash in Dubai tomorrow.
Other stock markets, key indices partially recovered from initial losses today, and the rupee ended with slight depreciation against the dollar. A report from the business desk.
At the stock markets recovering from its opening losses, the Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange ended 168 points or 0.3% lower to close at 59,029 today. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange shed 31 points or 0.2% to 17,624. At the Forex market, the rupee shed 7 paise to 79 rupees and 90 paise against the dollar. Gold fell 225 rupees to 50,761 rupees per 10 grams at Delhi's bullion market, and Brent crude futures rose 85 cents to trade at $93.68 a barrel. Gaurav Bhavanlal, AIR News.
Indian hockey team captain Harmanpreet Singh has been nominated for the FIH Men's Player of the Year award. PR Srijesh has been nominated for the Men's Goalkeeper of the Award and Savita Punya FIH Women's Goalkeeper of the Year. All three had won the awards in the categories in the 2020-21 edition also. Indian men's team head coach Graham Reid has been nominated for the FIH Men's Team Coach of the Year award. He won the Men's Team Coach of the Year award for 2020-21. Women's Team Coach Yannick Schockman is also in the running for the Women's Coach of the Year honour.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Mumbai is likely to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Kolkata expected to have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Chennai will witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. In the south, Hyderabad and Thiruvananthapuram will experience generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. In the northeast, Guwahati, Shillong, Gangtok, Itanagar will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Imphal, Aizawl, Kohima will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses virtually plenary session of 7th Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, says India's Act Far East policy enhanced cooperation with Russia and Far East in various fields. Cabinet approves policy on long-term leasing of railways land for PM Gati Shakti framework. Centrally sponsored scheme of setting up of PM Shri schools gets Cabinet's nod. India-Japan 2+2 ministerial dialogue to be held in Tokyo tomorrow. India invites Bangladesh business community to use its port infrastructure for transshipment to other countries. Prime Minister to inaugurate Kartavya Path and unveil the statue of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose at India Gate tomorrow. President and Vice President greet countrymen on eve of Onam. And in Asia Cup Cricket Super 4 stage match between Pakistan and Afghanistan underway at Sharjah. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.